The time is 6:03. Good evening, I am Jennifer Agogo with the news. Bandits invade housing estate in Kaduna, kidnap customs officer, 5 others. Soludo visits scene, condemns attack on council secretariat. NNPC ready to comply with the request of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts. China sanctions U.S. officials who concocted lies on human rights. And Guavian resigns as Eagle's technical advisor. Always log on to www.ozisaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. You can also follow this news broadcast live on our social media handles. On Facebook, Ozisa 96.1 FM, and on YouTube, Ozisa 96.1 FM TV. A civil society group, Youth and Student Advocates for Development Initiative, has called for a harmonious relationship between road users and security operatives in Imo State. Chinedu Ezenago has more on the story.
Between road users and security operatives, which will ultimately restore sanity on our roads. Chinedu Ezenago, Ozisa FM Owerri.
Many thanks, Chinedu Ezenago, for that report. Moving ahead, gunmen suspected to be bandits have attacked a low-cost housing estate at Kofa Gayan in Zaria local government area of Kaduna State and kidnapped 6 people, including a customs officer and his son. The police authorities are yet to confirm the incident, but a resident of the area told newsmen that the bandits invaded the estate at about 8 p.m. on Wednesday and started shooting sporadically. They moved straight to the customs officer's residence and thereafter took him away along with his son. According to the source, the bandits trailed him from his family house in Zaria City down to the estate. 4 others within the estate were later abducted by the gunmen. The incident comes 2 days after bandits attacked an Abuja-Kaduna bound train, killed 8 people, injured 26, and kidnapped an unspecified number of persons. Kaduna State and several others in the northwest and north-central regions have suffered from banditry in recent years. The gunmen have largely targeted schools and other public facilities. Several persons have also been killed and many others injured in the incessant attacks. Despite efforts by security agencies and the government, attacks by the armed men have continued, and there are fears it might spread to the other parts of the country. Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Ado Doguwa, has said Nigerians should be allowed to bear arms in self-defense, considering the deteriorating security situation in the country. The All Progressives Congress APC member, who is representing Doguwa to Dunwada Federal Constituency of Kano State, said this during plenary today when the House was debating the aftermath of the terrorist attack on a train filled with passengers in Birnin Gwari, Kaduna State. Doguwa, who was moved to tears by the tragic incident, is of the opinion that the security agencies have failed and citizens should not be at the mercy of terrorists or bandits. Another lawyer, Honorable Aminu Suleiman, who is also a member of the APC, in his contribution said the security agencies are displaying ineptitude. He drew the attention of the House to a group of young boys in Kano State called Suka, which he says are budding and could grow into another security threat. Suleiman questioned the effectiveness of the House regarding the resolutions passed on security-related matters and urged the lawmakers to embark on a strike until the security situation is handled. He also wants President Muhammadu Buhari as Commander-in-Chief to live up to his responsibilities and guarantee the security of lives and property. In honor of those who have died in the past week due to banditry and terrorism, the lawmakers made special prayers and the House was adjourned. To other news, Anambra Governor Charles Soludo has condemned the burning of the headquarters of Nnewi South local government area. The secretariat at Obo was targeted early hours of today by armed men. During his visit to the scene, Soludo lamented the attacks of businesses and government facilities, vowing that Anambra won't bow to criminals. He stated that the mindless bloodletting and destruction of infrastructure does not define who the people are. Soludo said resources that should have been deployed to providing more for struggling taxpayers would now be channeled into reconstruction and rebuilding missing records. Soludo recalled the murder of his police guard, Inspector Moritala Saudi, Sergeant Mudassir Ahmed, Sergeant Samuel Ishaya, in 2021 at a meeting with youth in his village. He pledged to continue to take care of their families and for their sake and many others who lost their lives to the sheer wickedness of a misguided people. To the business desk, the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has said the NNPC has nothing to hide and will comply with the request of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts. Kyari disclosed this following the request of the House by the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts seeking the appearance of heads of NNPC subsidiaries before the lawmakers. According to a report, the NNPC boss, in a statement issued in Abuja, said the company would comply with the committee's requirement and continue to be accountable and transparent. The committee had on March 16 through a letter signed by its chairman, Oluwole Oke, PDP Oshun, summoned the 17 subsidiaries of the NNPC to respond to audit queries by the Auditor General for the Federation over the operations of their finances between 2014 and 2019. Foreign news. Beijing today said it has slapped sanctions on an unspecified number of U.S. officials who concocted lies about human rights in China. The tit-for-tat move comes after Washington announced visa restrictions on Chinese officials accused of repressing religious and ethnic minorities in the far western region of Xinjiang. U.S.-China relations have reached their lowest point in decades, most recently aggravated by Beijing's perceived support for Russia as it carries out a bloody invasion of Ukraine. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken last week urged China to end its ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity in Xinjiang, as Washington announced sanctions on unnamed Chinese officials. Today, Beijing said it would impose reciprocal visa restrictions on U.S. officials. Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said the sanctions would apply to those who concocted lies and human rights issues involving China, promoted and implemented sanctions on China, and harmed China's rights and interests. However, Wang did not disclose the names of the officials to be sanctioned or the extent of the visa restrictions, but said the move was in line with China's anti-foreign sanction law implemented last year. And lastly, from the world of sports, former international Augustine Guavian has resigned as the Super Eagles technical advisor following the team's failure to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, confirmed this in a statement issued today. This is coming in less than 2 days after the three-time African champions drew 1-1 with Ghana in a playoff for the competition. The result sends the Black Stars to the tournament on the away goal rule after the first leg ended barring. The NFF has in the meantime withdrawn the 2.5 years contract offered the coaches and terminated the appointment of the entire technical crew of the team with immediate effect. A new crew will be announced after a proper review to lead the new charge of reinvigorating the Super Eagles to face future challenges appropriately. The football body, therefore, thanked the crew for their services and wished them well in future endeavors. And that ends the news. On behalf of the editor, Chinwendo Efegadi, and the production team, I am Jennifer Ogogo. Good evening and have a blissful evening.